Hello everyone, Thor here. So I'm talking about the Final Fantasy VII State of Play and the demo I played through last night. So let's get into it. So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'm pretty excited for this one. Not ready for the end of this one though, because I know it's probably going to be like a cliffhanger. They're throwing a lot of red herrings out there, which I'll jump into. I'm going to talk a little bit about my predictions for it, but I'm going to really jump into it in another video. I'm playing through the original Final Fantasy VII right now. I'm also going to play through Remake, and I plan to do videos on both of those, and then a video about Rebirth separately. The state of play in the demo was really cool. We get a feel for the actual game, and the state of play, they showed a lot more of the areas. We got to see more of Cosmo Canyon. We get to see some more of the dungeons, like the Mithril Mines. They showed them fighting the Midgar Zalem, which is unavoidable. Instead of running from it on the Chocobo, it's a boss, so that's kind of cool. Hopefully you can get enemy skill and get beta, but we'll see. Put off a bunch of the mini games like catching chocobos, helping out Moogle. They had the bike game. They showed some of Gold Saucer, which I think Gold Saucer is going to be awesome. They said that pretty much for the date scene you can go with anyone, so that's going to be cool. You can choose your favorite character, not just restricted to I think 3 or 4 in the original game. They showed Sid a bit more. They showed a tiny Bronco and how you travel on that, and it looks like it's open world, but like in segments, so I think that's pretty good. The demo let you play through essentially the first chapter where you're at Calm and Cloud tells the story of what happened in Nibelheim. I think there's going to be a lot of things from the original game in this, which is great. I think they're just going to be expanded on. They're going to make bigger storylines. It'll be interesting to see where they go. There's going to be plenty of new content. You could already see that. They expanded on what people say, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. It looks like they're really dive into how Cloud's mind's kind of fractured from the Mako poisoning and everything that happened with Zack, and a few clips of, what's going on with Zack. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do with Zack. I think Zack's in there playing a role. I wonder if they're going to have him maybe die instead, or Cloud might accidentally kill Aerith, or maybe they do something with Cloud, put Cloud in the live stream and play as Zack in the next game for a bit. I definitely want to look at things before I make my final prediction, but definitely all possibilities. I think the game's going to be great. I'm just kind of not sure how they're going to handle the ending, and I'm sure that's going to be very divisive because, fans that like a character won't be happy if their character they like die, or if they don't like the direction of it, or because the whole idea of this is they're kind of going on their own tangent at this point. They broke away from Destiny, so this could go. We're definitely going to see some of the old scenes, but they're going to be, like I said, expanded and changed. There's a lot of good stuff to look forward to, though. I mean, Costa del Sol looks like it's going to be a cool little part, and they're expanding on it, especially after the boat part, which is going to be kind of cool. They didn't show any of the boat, but in the original game, you fight Genova, so that's going to be a really cool thing to play through. So let's talk about the demo a little bit. The combat feels the same, but expanded on. Like with Cloud, a big struggle was aerial combat, and I think it's still going to be tough in close range, but they gave him, he can shoot beams out of his blade, so it's kind of like, a mini blade beam, and he can hit enemies from afar, which helps with that. The system is very similar. Cloud had, Punisher still. You could counterattack, but I forget if they changed this, but, even in normal stance, if you perfectly time your block, it kind of breaks the enemy, which can help you pressure them real quick, which is great. The synergy attacks look really cool, and there's a whole element about befriending your party. It made me think of a BioWare game where you have different relationships with everyone and how they react's different, or Star Ocean second story, just play through that, and your party members would get angry if a character they like die or whatever. So I think there's going to be a little bit of that. You have a bunch of perks the better your party gets along, so it's going to be definitely worth expanding and doing the content. They said soon they're releasing the open world part, so I think essentially the demo is giving us the first 2 chapters, which is good that they're doing this after, because a few people went to an event in LA and they only got 4 hours, and they said this part was massive and it'd take a lot more than that to complete it. So I'm definitely going to dive into that once that's available. They've made the maps much bigger. The mountain scene, it's a couple screens in the original, but this it's, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, maybe more, and you have this like Shinra facility you run through. So the town looked very familiar, expanded, more detailed. The hill going up to the Shinra Manor was it was different, but it's kind of cool. And the manor sits in the back, and the voice acting's still good, and the soundtrack sounds really good. They're rearranged, but they give a lot of talent there. So, I have the original game on the couple of vinyls it came out on, and I have the remake, I have the remake vinyl. I'm also gonna probably grab the Rebirth one too, just to have it. These games always have great music, and looking forward to that. They threw one of the mini games into the demo. They had the piano playing, so you can get a bunch of songs. Rhythm games aren't my strong point, so that's gonna be a bit of a struggle, but I'll get it. I'll just take some practice. I think I got like when I played it last night, I think I got like a B on the Tifa's theme. So once I figured it out, I got a little bit better. Anyone who likes rhythm games are gonna love that. So slight spoilers to the demo, but it's only the first chapter of the game, and if you probably played the original, so you know about this. But when Sephiroth discovers all of the experiments with Genova and how he was probably created, they really showed part of an interesting look at him bringing them to town, and they definitely made Sephiroth seem more brutal, which I think is great. I mean, they definitely did in the original game, but here they can really run with it, and I think that's great because it makes him a great villain. We definitely want reasons to want to go chase after Sephiroth. It looks like the whole world map is going to be available, but like I said, I think it's going to be segmented. It looks like you have to catch chocobos in each segment to unlock fast travel, so I think they're going to be segmented by region. You can probably use a tiny Bronco or fast travel each region. Then there's points in the open world you can fast travel to. Kind of remind me of the way 16 was a little bit. I kind of think that might be where it's going, but won't really know till this next chapter opens up. Yeah, I can't believe it's coming out at the end of this month. I can't wait to play through it, and excited for the end of this remake trilogy as well. Hopefully they eventually do 6, but they're kind of afraid to tackle that one. But I would love to see 6 in this kind of remake. Anyway, comment below with your thoughts on the demo and remake and rebirth so far. And remember to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Thor out.